Hey guys, what's up? Today I am going to do a quick rundown of how I published one, two, three books in a year. Oh, these are definitely my babies. I love them with all my heart, and I'm gonna show you guys what I did. So for me, I know it's probably like, how did you publish three books in 1 year? Well, for one, they're super thin, and the last two are definitely really thin. So it's not a lot that I wrote for these books. I really wanted to like keep my story short, sweet, and to the point, and I just did it the way that I wanted to do it. um, One thing that I know I did that helped me out a lot, and I got advice from a friend, was to write everything out. So for all of my books, I wrote everything out. Like Victor took me a minute to write because it was like the very first book that I did, and I wrote it out. I rewrote it out, and I rewrote it out again, and I finally got it to where I wanted it to be, and then I published it. Coffin was written twice, once in a book, and then the next typed up. And then once I had it written out how I wanted my timeline to go, I wrote it out. And then finally with Victor X Chris, I wrote this after, well, before I wrote Coffin. I already had this book started, and I just basically typed up how I really wanted the books to end, and that's pretty much it. My advice for like typing up and everything, like I said, is write it out first, edit it 1,000 times, and then when you're finally happy with the product that you have, then go on ahead and publish it. It's super easy. I did it with, excuse me, hold on one second. I was going to go on ahead and try to get my laptop up and running. I should have had this up earlier. But I did it on the KDP website, which is Kindle Direct Publishing, which is through Amazon. I talked about this before in my last video where I talked about when I first published Victor back in February, and then I finally published Coffin and then Victor X Chris later on afterwards. Um, I don't think I really talked about what it's about. So Victor is basically about a vampire, and he writes poetry in a non-conventional type of way. And it talks about his journey becoming a vampire and him meeting up with a girl named Chris and then seeing how their story unfolds. I don't want to give away too much. Coffin, in a sense, is the prequel to Victor. It's like kind of a sort of a prequel, but not really. It's about a girl named Willow who is a curator at a museum, and she's been assigned to go to Romania to pick up this coffin. And then, as you can tell, I'm not as you can tell, but she's picking up a coffin. So it's like, I really don't want to, like I said, I'm trying not to give too much away about my books. So that way everyone has a chance to be like, hey, you gave away too much. And I'm like, I know. Like, now you don't have to read it. And Victor X Chris is just basically about Victor and Chris and him trying to find his maker and what happens when they finally meet up. And my laptop is finally up and running. So, yeah. I'm going to try to go over as much as I can with the website. The website is super easy. All you do is just fill in the information that they ask for. Like literally, like all you're doing is filling in the information that they ask for. They're going to ask for your name, the title of your book, what age range would your book be in, stuff like that. Let me see. Let me go ahead and try to sign in real quick and get it up and running. I should have had this up and running before. I don't know what I was thinking. But anyway, I'll do the Kindle ebook because the Kindle ebook is super easy and it goes live like super fast. Like that's one thing about the books. Like once you publish, it may take like a day or two to go live, but once it's live, like anybody can read it. Like it doesn't matter. So they're gonna ask you what language you want the book in, English, book title, subtitle, the series information, that's optional. Edition number, that's optional. The author, of course, your name, contributors to your book, description of your book, the publishing rights, and I normally put I own the copyright and I hold the necessary publishing rights. That's what I put down. Keywords, so these are basically just tag words that you want to make sure you have words that are associated with your book. Like for me, since the book is about vampires, one of my tag words is vampires. Since it's a book with poetry in it, I put poetry as one of my taglines. So my keywords. And then the category, they want to ask you like, is it like a supernatural book? Is it fantasy? Is it, fiction, nonfiction? So stuff like that. And then the age range is what they ask you like, what age range would definitely be, you know, the next thing. Then after that, I can't really go to the next thing because I don't have anything I'm publishing right now. So let me see if I can go to the next thing because sometimes they'll let you. Let me see. No, see, it gave me the red. Like you need to put something in here. All right. So basically, the next part is the content of your book. So it's gonna be your manuscript, and then it's also gonna ask you to do a cover, and you can actually publish your book with your own cover that you found either online or if you found something online, definitely let people know like, hey, this is found online. This is not my personal artwork. You want to give where credit's due. So, but if you do the internet, that's one thing. But one good thing about Amazon publishing thing is that you can actually choose covers that they actually have already. So these covers were actually ones they had already. With Victor, I just chose the simple green, and I kind of liked it because it looks like it's like shattering a little bit, but also kind of looks like if you're looking up and you see like trees, like that kind of, I don't know, maybe it's just me that sees that. And then for coffin, I kind of wanted to be like, like scratches. Like I like this because it looked like a scratch going across, like kind of like how the coffin kind of looked when they finally found the coffin. And I like the burgundy color because it's like red, like for blood and everything. And then for Victor X Chris, I kind of it's the same exact cover for Victor, but I realized, my dumb tail, finally realized, oh, you can change the color for these you can change the color for these covers. So I decided to go with a dark blue with a burgundy shatter look. If you can see it, there you go. The shatter look. Like, just like the one for Victor, where it's like the shattered look. So yeah, so I did that, and then like I said, that's gonna be your content, and then after that, they're gonna do your pricing. It takes $2.15 to publish your book, so Amazon makes sure they get their money. They make sure that they get their money. So it takes $2.15 to publish it. So like normally I make my books like at the most $4. Now I really didn't want to make my books like extremely expensive because like look at this, they're super thin. So it's like, but I still wanted to make a profit. So I just made them all $3.99 to $4, which is basically just off by 1 penny. So that way I can go on ahead and make a little bit of money, make a little profit. But other than that, that's pretty much it. They're gonna ask it, and everything you just fill in. You just fill in whatever they ask for. The only thing that probably gets annoying is when you finally like going ahead and get ready to publish it. In your content part, they're gonna ask you to preview it, and when they ask you to preview it, if your margins are off, then it's gonna be like, okay, there's errors, and then you're gonna have to keep fixing it. Now, the best way for me that I fix my margins is that you see how big the books are? Like the books are kind of big. The best way I did that was I increased the size of the book. So by no, width and length. Don't get me started on math. Don't get me started. But I increased the length and width of it. so that way it'll get bigger, and then your margins will open up more, so that way you have more space for your book. Because sometimes even with Microsoft Word, you publish, because you can publish with Microsoft Word when you add your content, your manuscript. That's one of the things that you can do. It's a document, so you can go ahead and upload that. When you have a PDF, it's kind of tricky. I noticed that I actually had to go from a PDF to a Word doc, because it's easier to put the manuscript on with a Word doc. So I did it that way. Um, and that's pretty much it, honestly. Like I said, they literally will give you every instruction. You just follow the instructions, and then once you're done finally putting all the pricing and everything, they're gonna tell you, okay, it's in review for your ebook for Kindle, and then would you like to go on ahead and do the paperback part? Paperback part is the exact same thing as the Kindle. Just fill in all the information. This time around, like I said, it's just going to be that margin thing, that if you get, if you get that margin thing when you're trying to do, like, because for ebook, it's fine because it's like an ebook. But for, like, when you're doing the paperback, the margins can get to be the one thing that's tricky. And once you see that it has no errors, then you're all set to go. Like, it'll check your spelling as well. That's the one thing I also forgot. That the Kindle thing will also check your spelling in your book. So once you do the preview, it'll check the margins, and it'll also check the spelling for your manuscript for both the ebook and also for the paperback book. With the ebook, I made mine 99 cents for the Kindle marketplace, because they're going to ask you, hey, do you want to make this 99 cents so that it could be easily accessible? So I did yes. And yeah, that's like I said before, like, granted, that's pretty much it, but it really is, that's pretty much it. Like, Kindle's direct publishing is so easy to do. It's kind of scary how easy it is to publish a book, because I mean, basically anyone can do it. It's like me, anybody can do it. And it's not really scary. But because you know how some people are like, anybody could just publish a book if they want to. Well, yeah, anybody can publish a book if they want to. What's wrong with that? If you want to publish a book on whatever topic you want to publish it on, I say go for it. Do it. Anybody can work this website. It is super easy. I love it. I was able to publish 3 books in a year. And yeah, now it's off to marketing, networking, seeing how far I can get my book. Well, books, because it's a series. So I really wanted to make sure before the end of the year was done that my series was done, so that way, like, during the end of the year and next year, I can go ahead and start marketing it more and getting it out there for people to read and see. It's a simple book. It's not that complicated of a read. You'll get through it in maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hours, if that, if you're like really adamant about finishing it. Like, all 3 of the books you'll probably read in like maybe like 3-4 hours. Like, one day maybe, if I really feel like it, I might put it all in one book, so that way it's all together. But I was just like, I really wanted to be separate, because I love, like, going from one book to the next. Like, that's just me personally. That's my preference. I love going from one book and then opening up a new one and then opening up a new one. But, like, maybe later on down the line, if I really want to do it, I'll publish it as one big, huge, like, book. So that way it's more like, it's a little bit more cleaner. So I'm thinking about doing that. But other than that, it has been, as I said before in my last video, it has been a crazy year for me. But this is one of the biggest accomplishments that I've actually done in my life. That I actually, I actually got a tattoo for it. I probably can't. Yeah, so I got Victor tattooed on me. That's how important this series is very important to me. I'm so glad that I was able to finally go on ahead and write out what I really wanted to write and just have fun with it. And that was the one thing that I know that I did. I had so much fun writing this book. I never thought that I would have so much fun writing in all my life, but because I mean, I've always written. Like, I've always written. And I normally have fun, but this series was so much fun. I had a great time writing it. Thank you to all of those friends and family who have purchased my book or books. I love you so, so much. You are wonderful, beautiful, gorgeous, everything. Under every word under the sun that's an amazing word, you are it. Anyone who is thinking about purchasing my book, I appreciate you. I love you. And I just hope that you really enjoy this book. I am I don't know if I'm going to publish anything else anytime soon. This book took me a while to do. It took me a year to finally get everything situated and done. So who knows what's in store for the future. I'm excited about that. And yeah, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. And yeah, check out my book. I'll put the links in the description box down below. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Peace out. Bye.